Hello everyone. Today we're going to make button Christmas trees. Now these are really cute little ornaments if you have a small tree like this little one that I've got next to me here. And of course most people have a collection of buttons at home that they probably don't even know about, because every time they discarded a piece of clothing in the old days, buttons were removed in case one was lost from another garment, and they would have something to replace it with. So if you are like most sewers or moms or grandmothers or great-grandmothers, you have a collection of buttons of all sizes and shapes and colors, and they could be in a tin. Now this is a newer tin, but one of my ones I had before had to be about 100 years old. So I've got buttons collected from my great-grandmothers and on down through the family. So I have quite a collection. So today we're going to go through our buttons, which I did ahead of time, because it's really hard to find the right sizes that you need. So I've got an assortment here in these little bags. And I always find when I'm working with anything with beads or that, if I put them on a lid from whatever, it keeps them corralled so they're not rolling all over the table. So our button trees use different size buttons, so they're graduated from the bottom. So we have the teeniest tiny ones making the bottom of the tree, or else you can make them with no branch showing at the bottom, just a big button. So you get your biggest button ready, and then you graduate the sizes up, finding the next one and the next one, and you work all the way up till you get to the top. So I'm going to use fishing line because it's easy to poke through the holes of the buttons. Some buttons have large holes in them and some are very tiny. So what you're going to do, you're going to thread your fishing line, and this button has 4 holes. Now this is what you'll come across sometimes. So if there's 4 holes, you thread diagonal. If you thread them both on the same side, you're going to get a lopsided tree. And of course there are lopsided trees out in nature, but you don't want one for your tree ornament. So first just start getting those 2 through there. So you even up your ends, and then I will find the next size one, which is this one here. Now some of your buttons have one side is nicer than the other, and if they have a little edge on them, it shows kind of nice, because your next button up will be smaller, so the edge will show. So this again was a 4-hole button, so I've got to make sure I get it going the right way. Okay, and your buttons can be all different colors. These ones are mostly green. It is hard to find the large buttons. Well, those are mostly from old coats. This is a way to use some of the found items that you have at home in case you can't get out shopping to buy ornaments for your tree this year. So you can use what you have at home. So it's fun, first off, to lay out all of your buttons that you have, that you've collected, and try to find some that are varied sizes. So now I'm going to another green. Got all different shades of green here. You don't imagine that there's that many shades, but if you look out in nature, yes there is. And they don't all have to be the same color. You can have a variegated tree a good craft for a rainy or a snowy day when you can't get outside. Okay, a couple more, and then we'll get to the top. Now, years ago, before everybody started wearing t-shirts and that, most clothing did have buttons on it, and that's why the button box was very important, because you lost a lot of buttons, especially children out playing and that. Their shirts or blouses would get ripped and there goes a button. So Mom always had to find something to replace that with. So that's why the button box was very important, with all those different kinds in there. Okay, we're going to do one more, and then I think we'll be ready for our top. Okay, now I'm going to tie that off so it stays secure. And that one that wasn't totally flat seemed to work out pretty well. It's still got a little bit of a gap there, but again, no Christmas tree is perfect. I'm just going to tie this off, double knot. And of course we need a tree topper. So, special buttons are used for the tree topper, or you can order star buttons or star beads online or at the one of the stores. So I use what are called shank buttons. There's no holes in the top of it. There's a shank underneath it that has a hole. So those are called shanks, and they're some really ornate ones. Like this one has a little bead in the middle of it. This one here that I'm using, of course, is green and with a little rhinestone in it too. So I'm going to thread that through. And then I will tie that off and angle it to the front, and that is your tree topper. And then we'll place it on the tree. So again, a double knot with your fishing line. And then an overhand knot to make your tying loop. Okay, so there is our Christmas tree with that little sparkle in there. I'll put it next to a light if I can find a light. I don't know if you can see that. And now I gotta find a spot on the tree for it. We're gonna stick it right here. And it's hanging down. Now, in case you do not have a button box at home, you can go to your dollar store and you can buy packages of all different colored buttons. So then you would just pull them out, put them on a tray, and sort your buttons. They've got some nice big ones in this, so that would be the bottom of your tree, and then another one coming, and all kinds of beautiful colors, and probably even some shank buttons. So that is your button Christmas tree. Now these would make nice little package additions when you're giving a present to somebody. Let's stick one of these on top. Okay, tape it down. And that is the end of the craft for today.